3 pieces of dried blood from St. Pio of Pietrelcina's 50-year stigmata, and one of the mittens the saint used to cover his stigmata, arrived in Perth, Australia recently, in the care of a priest who was among the few people to be close on a daily basis to one of the greatest mystics of the Church. Father Ermelindo Di Capua, who was ordained a Capuchin friar in 1958, brought the relics to Perth, the first stop of his tour around Australia and New Zealand. Father Ermelindo had first-hand experience with the mystic, but he said he prefers to speak of the holiness of Padre Pio, rather than the numerous and extraordinary spiritual and physical miracles of the saint, saying that these came from God through Padre Pio's intercession. The Superior appointed Father Ermelindo to stay at San Giovanni Rotondo as Padre Pio's English secretary from 1965 until Padre Pio's death on 23 September 1968. His task was to introduce Padre Pio to the many English-speaking visitors from abroad and to answer the many letters that Padre Pio received in English.
People consider Padre Pio a holy man, but he all the time repeat, who is Padre Pio? Is a poor Capuchin friar, praying and suffering every day.
Padre Pio had a great love for the Rosary and would pray it countless times throughout the day.
Padre Pio, through his life, loved so much Jesus Christ and Our Lady, and he encouraged everyone to love Jesus Christ the crucifix and Jesus in the Blessed Sacrament, and he loved so much Our Lady. I saw Padre Pio all the time with the crown of the Rosary, the crown that he called my weapon, and he encouraged all the people to say the Rosary every day. How many rosaries said Padre Pio during his life or during the day? It's impossible to count. It's recognized by the Church, the apostles of the Rosary, on account of the many rosaries that he said during his life. And these are the words that he repeated all the time. I would like to tell you, everyone, not only the priest, not only the sisters, but everyone, love Our Lady, and try to tell everyone to love Our Lady and to say the Rosary every day.
Padre Pio was ordained to the priesthood on August 10, 1910. On that occasion, Padre Pio renewed his promise to God to offer himself as victim on the altar for the salvation of humanity, as Jesus Christ did on Calvary. Padre Pio would begin Mass very early in the morning, at 4 a.m., and the church would be overcrowded.
The life of Padre Pio as a priest is very simple. To say Holy Mass, to hear confession, to pray, to counsel, to give some advice, but especially to announce the word of God, not only by mouth, but especially through his life.
During the Mass, Padre Pio considered the altar as Calvary, and he meditated on the passion and death of Jesus Christ. 8 years after ordination, on September 20th, 1918, while he was praying in front of a crucifix, Padre Pio received the stigmata that he would bear for 50 years on his hands, feet, and chest. He became a real image of the crucified Christ. Father Ermelindo described his confrere's heart as a furnace burning with love for God and humanity. With offerings that he received from people the world over, Padre Pio built a hospital for the sick and the suffering, which was inaugurated on May 5, 1956. He was a man of charity towards the poor, the sinners, and the sick. In his final years, Father Ermelindo said that Padre Pio continued to work spiritually by hearing confessions, saying the Holy Mass, and meeting the people, even though he was old, sick, and very tired.
How many sinners he converted with his example. He spent almost 12 hours a day hearing confession. And through the confession, he converted a lot of atheists, a lot of communists, and many people who were away from God.
Padre Pio also met the future Pope John Paul II when he was a simple priest in Rome, and went to San Giovanni Rotondo to ask Padre Pio to hear his confession. From that point on, Father Ermelindo said, he became a very close friend of Padre Pio. Many people came to ask Padre Pio to hear their confession, and as a result, Padre Pio spent many hours in the confessional box. During the confession, Padre Pio was a father and a judge. He converted a lot of sinners to return to God and to the Church. Padre Pio was not only a confessor, but a director of many souls, and wrote many letters giving them spiritual counsel. Father Ermelindo said that in general, Padre Pio told them how to love and serve God, and to love and respect each other, to read spiritual books, and especially to attend the Holy Mass, and say the Rosary, and to take up the daily cross, and follow Jesus Christ, and to pray to Our Lady. In general, to do God's will.
When John Paul II, a good and close friend of Padre Pio, proclaimed Padre Pio saint, he said, "Everyone on the square of St. Peter, I give you a new saint, not an old saint, but a modern saint. Not only to the Capuchin order, not only the Franciscan orders, but totally indwelt San Pio of Pietrelcina as example to follow and as protector from heaven. For this reason, people continue also today to come to San Giovanni Rotondo to pray and venerate the body of Padre Pio.